Did you listen to Jeff and Professor Hamo in the morning? Here's what you missed.
The hour is 7 o'clock. Back in 1980, that's right, Peter Sammy Mwithi decided to join the military. And I tell you folks, what a story he had. He ended up being a major after spending 33 years in the military. In that time, he spent a year in Rwanda, a year in Ethiopia, and yes, a year under Operation Linda Nchi in Somalia. He retired about 3 years ago, and right now he's working on his doctorate of philosophy in law enforcement and justice administration. What a story, what a career. We want to talk to him about what life was like in the military, because these folks hardly ever speak, probably because of all the hell that they go through. Peter Sammy Mwithi, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you, Jeff.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
33 years. Who does that? Who does that, Peter?
Jeff, is the sheer grace of the Lord, that when you are in the army, your life is in the destiny of the Lord.
Yeah.
So it's just God's.
So you joined in 1980. 2 years later, there was an attempted coup.
Yeah, there was an attempted coup by the former Kenya Air Force. That is 1982. I was a senior sergeant, and I was in Kahawa.
Wow.
And I'm proud to say that I'm one of those officers who suppressed that mutiny, which would have brought the destiny of our country to a different level.
What was it like then? What was that like?
It was not good. And Jeff, I don't wish to remember that day. It was a bad day. It was a bad day for Kenya. And what I can say is, I don't wish anybody to attempt that throughout our life.
Yeah.
It was a bad day.
Really?
We lost people.
A lot of people.
So many people in Nairobi stole other people's properties. It was chaos.
Yeah.
There was no peace. And surely, Jeff, we don't pray for that day to happen in this country.
Right. Thank God it didn't. It wasn't successful, because Kenya would have changed forever.
Yeah, the destiny, the history of Kenya would have taken a different angle
Yeah.
as to what we have now.
Tell me something. What made you join the military?
Jeff, what made me join the military? First of all, I was a teacher by choice. And then I became a military officer out of necessity to defend my country, and at the same time to represent my community where I come from, Tharaka, a very marginalized tribe.
Tharaka Nithi.
Wow. That's where I come from, in a village called Tunyai, Kiveno.
Yeah.
That's where I come from.
We're still waiting for the votes from last year from Tharaka Nithi.
We made history. We are known everywhere for that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So you joined, and then when was your first assignment overseas, as in out of the country?
When my first one was in Rwanda, where we did some military issues to assist our neighbors from the Lake region. And then the other one was in Ulimi, where Ethiopia and the Eritreans were not in good terms.
Horrible war they fought.
Horrible war.
Horrible.
And I was selected as a military observer under the United Nations.
And you spent a year there?
I spent a year in a very horrible country. I remember some of the places that I went to. Senafe. I went to Asab, near the Red Sea.
I know it.
Near the Red Sea.
They have a port there, don't they?
One of the hottest places. If you Google down, Jeff, you'll find that is one of the hottest places.
Yeah. In Eritrea. Yes.
Yeah.
And Massawa.
Massawa, the port, we went there also.
Yes.
Yeah.
A year you spent.
Adigrat, near the boundary of Eritrea and Ethiopia.
Would you get time off in that time?
Yeah, we used to get time off to come and see our family. They are called time off by the UN. So you spend about a week. About a week you get 1 day. Then 4 weeks you get 4 days. And then you can come back home and see your family.
And that's it?
And that's it.
And then Operation Linda Nchi comes about in 2011, I believe.
Yeah.
October 2011. So 8 years ago. Right? What was that like?
It was very hectic. When I was chosen to go there as a civic military cooperation officer to try and link up all those NGOs who are giving help to the Somalis. It was not good.
Yeah.
It was not good. But we made it, Chief.
You made it. But a lot of a lot of your colleagues didn't. I mean, quite a few have died. Now, you know, you don't have to tell us the numbers or anything, but let's admit it. We've lost quite a few in Somalia.
We have lost quite a few, and that is synonymous with war.
Yeah.
It's synonymous with war. But there's one thing I want to refute, Jeff. During my time, the ones we lost, it was not a direct fire from the enemy. Very few we lost out of road accidents, few mines here and there, very few.
Road accidents with what?
Road accidents, our drivers are supposed to move very fast to avoid the mines, you know. So sometimes you have these accidents.
And the cars flip over or they overturn? Or
they overturn, and we lose some of them.
Kill people.
And these are incidences of war.
But of course, like you said, landmines are also a big issue over there, aren't they? IEDs.
These Al-Shabaab are putting the IEDs there. I don't know what type of characters are these people. Sometimes, Jeff, I think these Al-Shabaab are devils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bad, huh?
They are that bad.
You wonder what goes through their minds.
I don't know what that goes through. We tried to figure out whether they are normal human beings, whether they are devils from somewhere. We don't know. Because their only hope is to kill.
That's it.
And they don't have a very specific reason why to kill. They have been indoctrinated in such a way that their only objective is to kill. You ask them why, they can't even. We came to contact with them and they can't tell you why.
No.
Yeah.
They have no answer.
They have no answer to tell you.
They've just been brainwashed to kill.
Brainwashed just to kill.
Did you kill any?
I don't know. When the shot goes, I don't know why I killed.
Yeah.
But I was trying to do that.
Sure, that's your job.
That's my job.
Yeah. Did you think you were going to die at any point? Have you ever been in a situation where you thought, I may die today?
Definitely I'm a human being. I have that soul which tells me death is not good. But what do you do? But one thing I should tell you, for Jeff, is that we are trained for this. We are trained for this. So anytime you are there, you know that death is in your hands. So what you do is you follow all the skills that you are trained when you are in a cadet course. And this will help you. And more so, you pray. Let me tell you, Jeff, there is no single Sunday I can remember of that we never had a church service.
Wherever you were.
In the center of the forest, wherever we were. Muslims, they have their own mosque tent. Christians, the same. We are a very prayerful military force.
And one of you would be the priest or the preacher?
Of course, these preachers are there who are trained. Again, Jeff, in the military, we have everybody there, including the journalism. We have everybody there.
Yeah.
We are self-reliant.
So let's say you were a preacher one Sunday. Let's say, for instance, right?
I was one day, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you have your gun strapped to your back and the Bible in your hand?
Definitely, my gun is here.
Yeah.
The Bible is here.
Yeah.
The cooks as well. And a koroga unga, a ugali, and the gun is there. That's the only way.
Just in case.
Yeah.
What about the morale in the military? What was that like when you were there?
The morale is high. And the morale is behind the calling of serving this country. You are trained to serve the country. Just let me tell you, the military, their purpose is to secure our territorial grounds. The Air Force, in the air. The Navy, water masses that we have in our country. And then the Army is the ground force. That is our mission. We are not aligned to any politician. We are not a political, but we follow any commander who is in charge. Yeah.
And when you compare Kenya's military with other militaries that you've worked with, how do we rank?
Let me tell you, Jeff, without being proud, I was in Ethiopia, serving as a United Military Observer under the flag of United Nations. And 9 white officers were under my care. And nobody complained. And we showed a lot of professionalism. Kenya is known for that. And that's why wherever we go, to keep peace, we are really known.
Yeah.
And those ones whom we have trained, like Rwanda, they have already taken the role of pursuing peace in our continent because we have trained them. And they're doing very well.
And in terms of discipline, would you say we are disciplined, a disciplined force?
Let me tell you, let me define what is discipline. Discipline is in the training of the mind to do the right thing at the right time. So when I read our KDF is very good. When I went to Ulmi and found other military officers from other areas, Jeff, it was chaos. In terms of discipline, it was very low. The way they dressed, cleanliness, and all that, it was below standard. Below standard. Including the Wazungus, we think they are better off than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That their discipline is a bit low.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they're filthy people.
Yeah. And they're not professional. They're not professional at all. Yeah.
Callistus Murunga here. He's tweeting all the way from Doha, Qatar. He says, "Good morning, Jeff. My dad was a military personnel for 40 years. And I really respect these guys. These are great people we need to honor for what they do. They sacrifice their lives for the sake of their country."
Thank you for those comments.
Did you think you would last 33 years in the military?
I didn't know. It was the hands of God. Because sometimes we undertook very fearful operations, which I need to talk here because of the security issue.
Sure.
But at the end of it all, we thank God. There's a time I remember I was an education officer, 1996, Jeff. I was in charge of education in one Kiananyuki. And we were coming back for Easter. Somewhere in Vika, we got a road accident. And Jeff, imagine, I broke my leg. I got these scars you see here. And under me, there were 3 bodies of women who were dead. A captain, I can remember, Kamau, was on me dead. And the passers-by took us to the nearest hospital, which was Moranga, and we survived. We were airlifted, thank you to the KDF, we were airlifted to Forces Memorial, and we survived.
How many died?
4 during that accident.
How many survived?
Many, but I can't remember, including my father. He was there also. He was not a military officer, but I'd taken him to come to Nairobi to see my family.
Yeah.
So we go under so many challenges, but we thank God.
Yeah.
Those challenges are for a worthy cause, defending our country.
Any regrets about joining the military?
No. It was very adventurous. It was good. And out of what I got from the army, the salary that I got, Jeff, my first daughter is called Florence Mudhoni. She's a doctor in charge of education in Laikipia campus. My second born is a lawyer, Robert Maogo. I'm very proud of him. The third one is a lieutenant. He has a degree also. He's in the operation area in Somalia. KDF. And he got a job out of his own. No assistance, no corruption, nothing. He told me, "Daddy, I want to be a military officer like you." I told him, "No, just read. He said, "Me, I want to go." He went.
And he's a lieutenant?
He's a Lieutenant Mwithi. And I greet them all, those ones who are serving us in Somalia. He is there. Yeah. My lastborn, my second lastborn is pursuing IT, Scott Benson. He's in JKUAT. Then the other one is at NYS. So these are the products of what I did in the army. The government honored me. Yeah.
Do you fear for the lieutenant who's in Somalia right now? Because when you hear reports of landmines, IEDs, suicide attacks, do you fear that one day you could get a phone call saying your son was amongst them?
Last week he called me. We always talk in the morning. And sometimes they have these shaky hands because of the challenges. But what I tell him, deploy all the skills that you did in the college, and then be prayerful. Be prayerful, because at the end of it, the general of the army is God himself.
Was he scared?
He's scared, of course.
Yeah.
He's about 25 years old. He's very young.
How long has he been there?
He has been there. This is the second year. He's doing his second year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Second year?
Second year in the military. He has undergone so many courses.
Yeah.
And I think he's coming out in probably in December. There's a changeover. Maybe. But you are praying for them.
Yeah.
We're praying for all soldiers who are in Somalia, those ones who are in Sudan, and the other military officers working under our missions elsewhere.
But does he call when he calls you? Does he cry on the phone? Does he say, "Daddy, I need to get out of this mess"?
He doesn't cry. He doesn't cry.
No, he can cry. It's okay. He's a man.
He doesn't cry so much. But he tells us the situation is very tough. But I encourage him to continue because the destiny of his life is in God's hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dennis Mutai says, may God always be with these military officers. They are really going through a lot, and they have sacrificed their lives to defend our nation. I respect them a lot. Kimutai Korero said, really proud of our military. God bless the military. Oh, and then he says, a military man and a fearless, proud father of a lieutenant. Goodness gracious me. 33 years in the military. Huh? And then in the meantime, you got your bachelor's degree, you got a master's degree, now you're working on your doctorate.
Jeff, let me give you a history, but the objective of my life history is to the young people, to encourage them.
Yeah. Why don't you wait until we take a break?
Okay,
we come back.
Thank you, John.
You tell us this. We're speaking to Major Peter Sammy Mwithi, retired. 33 years in the Kenya Armed Forces. Unbelievable stories. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. By the way, speaking of disciplined forces, I totally agree with you because I was in Sierra Leone and Liberia. And of course, DRC and Somalia. I've never seen such madness in my life. 10-year-olds with AK-47s. And they call themselves general and lieutenant and colonel. 10-year-olds.
I saw it in Congo also because I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kadogos.
Yeah, Katokos.
Madness.
That's what happens, Jeff, when the military personnel do not follow the ethics of the military profession and they lack discipline.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
Absolutely. 19 minutes to go before the top of the hour. We are still live in the studio with Peter Sammy Mwithi, Major retired after serving 33 years in the Kenya Defense Forces and Armed Forces. Tweets coming in thick and fast. Collins Job says, how else can you celebrate a patriot? Peter Mwithi has joined the class of the GOATs. That's the greatest of all time, Peter. From Tarakaniti, God bless and protect his family. Nathan Ciala says, every day I wake up and say my prayer, I cannot forget to pray for our soldiers serving out of the country. These people are doing great things for this country that only a few realize what they go through. Not everyone can.
Difficult, but there are some entry points in the army. You can join as a cadet. You can join as just a soldier. It depends. But 35 years is quite big.
It's quite advanced.
You will not endure
Yeah.
the training
Yeah.
challenges.
How old were you when you joined?
I think I was 19 years.
19.
Pretty young.
Yeah. And starting age is 18, 19?
I joined the army in 1980.
Not you, in general. When one reaches the age of 18, they join, or even younger?
Even, no, 18. There are some requirements which you must fulfill.
Yeah.
You must have the ID card, the national ID card. You must be a Kenyan citizen, physical fitness. All those things are considered.
Yeah.
But according to our constitution, is anybody above 18 years, but not more than 25 years, I don't think. Unless you are a specialist, like doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
Isaac Muthus, he says, thumbs up, Peter. Our disciplined forces are doing commendable job.
Thank you.
But during Westgate Mall attack, media exposed KDF as looters. You always have to have that.
You see, Jeff, in any institution, you will have one rotten egg. And I tend to think sometimes the politics of the day, and this is my calling, my personal calling,
Yeah.
we should not mix at any one time the politics with the military. It's so dangerous when we drive heavy dose of politics in the military.
Yeah.
We should separate these two so that we can have peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so dangerous.
Your scariest moment in all your 33 years, scariest.
My scariest moment was when we were capturing Kismayo. That week, when we were approaching that objective, it was very scary. It was very scary, and I don't wish to remember that day, Jeff. It was very scary. But spiritually and emotionally, I was prepared for that.
Have you lost some good friends?
Oh, quite a number, Jeff. I've even buried them. So many, I can't remember. So many. I've been, okay, when military officers pass on, it is a duty of any selected military officer to be in charge of the burial, because we have our tradition and culture to bury our deceased. officers or vice servicemen or servicewomen.
Yeah.
So I've buried so many. Until one time, I was baptized as OC, Officer Commanding Burial. Because as an education officer in the military base, sometimes you don't do much apart from the education issues. So sometimes you're called upon to go and bury.
So tell me something, apart from the war cemetery off Ngong Road, right? Where else are soldiers buried?
Soldiers are buried at their own request of the next of kin.
Okay.
Yeah. Like myself, if I had passed on while I was in the military, definitely I would go to somewhere, Keveno, to Nyai, Dharakani. That's where I would be buried.
That's where you'd be buried.
Yeah.
Who are the ones buried in the war cemeteries then?
I think, now I have gone to City Park, where one day I went to just to pay my respects to the ones who passed during the 1914, 1940, Second World War.
Right.
They are buried in those areas. But I don't remember any soldier being buried in the barracks. No. It is ukumbusho too. Monuments to remember them.
And maybe another person to ask, but let me ask you this, since you served 33 years. Shouldn't we have what other countries have, a hero's acre? You know, like Zimbabwe has a hero's acre where they bury their heroes, war veterans, you know, people like that. Shouldn't we have that?
I think we should have that, but that is to be decided by the politics of the day. Yeah.
Shame, okay. All right, so we talked about your scariest moment, best moment in the military. Best
moment is when I got an opportunity to study. I was sponsored by the KDF to study. And my first sponsorship is in 1983. I was a senior sergeant. I was sponsored to go and do my diploma in education at a training college in Siliba. Remember those times we had some colleges offering diploma colleges. And being a teacher from P1, I was sponsored to go to Siliba Teachers College. I went there for 2 years. And then in 1999, I was also sponsored to go to Nairobi University, Kikuyu campus, to study for another diploma in adult education.
Some of the honors you've received are what?
Some of the honors I received is, can I remember? There's so many. The Kenyatta, I can't remember the year. Maybe I can recall them later.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are many honors I received, including civilian honors. Jeff, when I finished my diploma in 1985, I joined the Kenya National Examination Council as an examiner of KCP, Form 4, Form 6 when it used to be there, until I retired about 2 years ago. I've been marking Kiswahili for a long time. And Jeff, if you can tell me when you did your case, your whatever, I must have marked your, which year?
1984.
84?
Yeah.
84, I marked English paper. Remember there was English paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I marked English paper.
I got a distinction.
It
must have been you.
I don't know. But I was in the panel, surely.
Is that right?
Yes, I marked the English paper.
Yeah.
I marked Kiswahili Form 6. And then we went to, it was first out. Then I started marking Insha. And then Fasihi literature, Form 4, until 2 years ago.
And those days, like these young people here, they keep talking about something called Mwakenya. Those days, there was no Mwakenya, right? We studied hard.
A-levels.
A-levels.
Those were people.
Proper.
I went through that. I have so many certificates from the Kenya National Examination I was awarded for the good work I did.
Yeah. Nyar Gero says the military guys' discipline is on another level and they serve wholeheartedly. Much appreciation to them. Oh, Musa Dirango-san says military are the real honorables. I feel bitter for politicians calling themselves honorable. You're looking at some of the honors.
Yeah.
Go on.
The ones which I know that I initiated to be written here: 20th anniversary medal, 10 great years of Nyayo Ira medal, 25th anniversary medal. I have 20 years of Nyayo Ira medal. I have a UN medal, and many others which are not here.
They actually celebrated 20 years of Nyayo?
Yes.
And they gave you a medal?
Yeah. I wish I was in in the other suit with my medals here. There's so many here.
Which presidents have you ever met in the last, since you joined, since 1980?
I met President Daniel Arap Moi.
In a what? In a parade?
In a parade, in our officers' mess at Langata Barracks. He used to come and dress officers on some celebrations of the military.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. As an officer, we were seated just next to him.
Yeah?
Yeah. And of course, he came to our celebrations at Kenya Military Academy several times.
Yeah. Kibaki?
Kibaki, I met him during his inauguration here at Uhuru Park. I was on,
What were you doing there?
I was just celebrating with the other officers.
Were you on duty?
I was on duty, but not specific duty, just to celebrate the multiplication of our new constitution.
Oh, yeah, 2010. Did you ever do parades like we see the military in?
Yes, when I was a soldier. Remember, Jeff, I never joined in the army as an officer. I got commissioned later on because of my good work.
Okay.
I joined as a serviceman. So I did all these parades. I was promoted from a corporal, sergeant, senior sergeant, warrant officer class 2, warrant officer class 1, until 1994 I was commissioned to a lieutenant, captain, and a major. Then I retired.
That's how you ended up.
Yeah.
What would have been the next rank after major?
The next rank after the major would have been lieutenant colonel. Unfortunately, I never got it.
Did you try for it?
I tried for it, I worked hard for it, but these things are in the hands of God.
So in 33 years, you got what, about 10 ranks, huh?
Yeah,
Close to 10 ranks.
Yeah.
There's some who remain where they are for many, many years. Why is that?
Because of many reasons. One is indiscipline.
Okay.
Indiscipline.
Yeah, like corporals or lower ranks.
Yeah. The other one is lack of vacancy, of course. If they're in that establishment, the vacancies are not there.
Yeah.
Until one dies or retires.
Right.
Sometimes it's a destiny.
Do you find more and more women joining the military now?
Yeah, there are so many women joining the military. And let me say at this point, they are doing very well. Like our historian, this lady who made history, Fatuma. She's my product. I taught her at Women's Service Corps. She was really incredible, disciplined officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, who is Fatima?
Fatuma is I think she was in charge of a personnel at DOD, the highest level.
The highest ranking.
But she's very humble, very hard work, very committed. I knew her when she was an officer at Women's Service Corps, when it was used to be in the co-allocated in the Air Force Base in Italy.
Yeah. Philip Kiprotich says, I support all our military personnel and their families. You guys do a great job by serving and protecting our country. Thank you so much. Salute to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Wow. If someone wanted to join the military after hearing you, Major Peter Sammy Mwithi, what would you tell them?
I will tell them it's good, it's very adventurous. And one question I should also ask him or her, if she does not take that consideration to join the army and defend our country, who will do that? Who will do that? It's an honor, it's good, Jeff, let me tell you, there are 4 professionals which I think is a calling from God. One is the medical, teaching, these catechists who preach the word of God, and of course, the medical. This is just a calling. It is not money. It is not money, Jeff. It is a calling. Okay, money is the other hand, because we are all human. We need that money to progress our development, our welfare of the family. But any military officer who has a calling to serve the country, it is a commitment. It's not money. You don't look above the money. It's how you defend your own country. And good reward comes from God. He'll bless you if you come out and defend your country in the right way.
Yeah. And as we go into this Mashujaa Day weekend, what do you say to all those Shujas out there in the military?
You just congratulate them, tell them they're doing a good job. Those who are dead, of course, they can't hear our voices. We are their voices. Those who are serving, what I can tell them is to keep off from politics and defend our territorial boundaries. And if they are called upon by the civil authority, which are the police, they should come in. Especially now we have so many operations that we have They should come in and serve Kenyans with a lot of dedication and commitment. And I repeat, Jeff, keep off from politics. Our politicians are good, but again, they are not very good.
Yeah, you just said that, absolutely. Major Peter Sammy Mwithi retired Major.
Yeah.
A real patriot, an officer, and a gentleman. Thank you so much for your time.
Jeff, can I tell you something before I leave?
Go on.
As at now, I'm very grateful to the military. I'm paid, my salary now is 120,000 till the day God will call me.
Wow.
And if it happens that I die anytime from today, because we don't know, my wife, who is Raeli Mwombi Maogo, she is a manager in one of our establishments in the military. She'll get that money for 5 years. Is that not credible?
That's not bad.
Thank you to our government.
You get paid better than some of us.
I don't know. Now, Jeff, I want you to make a calling on my behalf.
Go on.
I'm getting 120. I don't know when I'll die. I'm doing nothing. I'm calling out to the government to give me salary-less work, and I'll do for my country.
Anything?
Anything, free. Because I'm paid 120,000. I wake up in the morning. I don't go anywhere apart from the studies that I'm keeping myself busy so that I don't die earlier.
Yes.
But if all these people who are said to be retired, you know, I've just been retired because of the protocol, but I'm not tired to serve this country.
Retired but not tired.
Yeah. So we have so many out there who are earning, the wage bill is up, and they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Here we are, make a calling. I'm ready to serve anywhere, in the government, anywhere, free of charge, because I'm already paid.
You already have a
Yeah. If we can get all these people who have retired, of course you cannot force them, because it's their right, constitutional right, to be enumerated until they die. Yeah? If we can get them and put them to service, I think this country will go. Because some of them are specialists. I'm a teacher by profession.
Right.
I can teach in the university free of charge. But here we are. There's no policy. There should be a policy for those who are willing to serve the country.
Wow.
Because you continue to serve the country until you die. Because we eat. We don't stop to eat.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my calling.
Yeah.
If there's any government officer who is listening to me right now, I'm ready to serve. I can give you my number.
Oh, yeah. Leave it with us.
Yeah.
Retired Major Peter Sammy Mwithi. What a patriot. Thanks so much for your time. And happy Mashujaa Day.
And you're doing a good job.
Thank you, sir.
And let me tell you the last thing before I wrap up.
Yes, Mom.
You people in the media, you are doing a very good job to inform the public what is happening about the country. But hardly are you recognized. And I would wish if in the parliament they'll pass a bill to give the media, all medias, money so that they can be talking of the changes that we want, the devolution, the everything. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
You need to be considered.
I think
because what you are doing is very good. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Speaking for us, speaking for everyone. Is anyone you left out? No, I'm kidding. This is what we call
Candid interviews with decision. Catch Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.